How's it going? Today's Q&A video is a question I get asked numerous times every week is how heavy is that? How does that relate to another lift? And when I say that, I'm meaning typical strongman events that weigh a certain amount, but people want to know how much that weight is going to translate to a typical gym lift. Like people want to know, how much should I be able to deadlift to be able to deadlift a car? What do I need if I push press X amount of weight? Will I be able to do this 250-pound Viking press at an upcoming competition? How big of a tire do I need to flip? And in strongman, it's the definition of the sport really is lifting odd objects. And how that kind of makes it tricky is when you're lifting odd objects and they might be attached to some sort of frame or on a lever, or they're not standardized, like a powerlifting. If you go to a powerlifting meet and you're in a squat, you're in a bench, you're in a deadlift, there's going to be guidelines, there's going to be rules, there's going to be regulations, there's going to be a standard for the equipment. I'm going to be using this type of bar, the weights are going to be calibrated, I'm going to lift this, and you're also going to be able to duplicate it in the gym fairly well. But in strongman, we're going to use some sort of... What the fuck are they doing down there? Anyways, I might live in the middle of nowhere, but still get cars honking in the middle of my videos. You're never safe anywhere. You need to move even further away from people. But my point is that in strongman there's no standardized equipment, nor should there be. The whole reason that World's Strongest Man got started is they just wanted to bring good athletes and see who was the strongest person in the world on a variety of different tests. So by not standardizing the events, it keeps it kind of, you're able to train for it, but there's going to be slight variations in the equipment always. So, the pick on a farmer's walk or a frame might be higher or lower, it might be longer, it might be unbalanced because someone made the equipment wrong. Trust me, it's very common that they don't balance a log, etc. It's amazing that still that tends to be an issue. And when you're talking about a lift, specifically something like the car deadlift, you get this a lot. And first off, it's not a deadlift. I've talked about this numerous times, but you have to take into account all the different factors that can go into how heavy the lift is actually going to feel in the hands. And sometimes the promoter actually does weigh it, but I think when you're worried about how heavy an implement is going to be, and if you're going to be able to do it or not, you're already doubting that you're going to be able to do it in the first place. So you're already having a defeatist attitude. And the point of the sport is to prepare yourself as good as you can and to duplicate equipment as well as you can in training to be prepared to showcase that strength at a show. There's been plenty of good strongmen that don't have every single piece of equipment and every single style that have done fairly well and won national championships and went to World's Strongest Man and etc. Because, if you have the basic techniques on how to do the lift down and you keep getting stronger, you'll do okay. So let's take a car deadlift. If you're lifting a car deadlift and you're going, okay, so what do I need to, lift a Toyota Corolla? Well, what trim model is it? How much gas is in it? What year? Just what the car weighs itself is going to be a factor. But that's actually one of the least, it matters the least out of all the factors I've found. I've lifted, light cars that felt heavy and heavy cars that felt light, because the main thing is the frame that you're lifting it on. How heavy is that frame itself? The one at NAS Nationals or the Arnold is something stupid heavy. It's like 600 pounds by itself or something. It might be less, but I'm gonna say it's 1,600 pounds. Anyways, how heavy that frame is. So you're gonna be picking up that frame. If you have a thinner gauge steel, it's gonna be a lot easier. because you're not it's not as much weight added into the equation, and also it's going to flex a lot more. The metal will bend, just like when using a deadlift bar or pulling a heavy deadlift, the bar kind of bends. That's just going to happen even more so on lifts that are on a lever or a frame, like a car deadlift. How high are the handles? How far out are the handles? There's so many different factors that go into it. So if you're having that doubt in your mind on, I need to know that my lift is at X before I'm able to do the event, it's just the wrong mindset to have going into it, worrying about how much it weighs. You just have to get stronger. You have to mimic the movement as good as you can and bring up your weak points, and watch the videos I've made on how to do it. And when it comes down to it, you just go out there and do it. And it just comes with experience. I've went to contests, and I can kind of gauge by how everyone else is doing how I'm going to have to approach that car deadlift, because I am aware of my own skills. And if everyone's zeroing, that does not mean you're going to zero either. And that happens a lot with a thing like a car deadlift, is some people will not be able to get one rep at all. And it might not even be from a strength issue. It's, again, I see people go up to it already defeated because they've seen other people miss, and they go, oh, well, it's heavy, it should have been lighter. You should have had a little bit more confidence and approached the lift in a different way. And this applies to a Viking press as well. The same kind of things. How heavy is the frame by itself? Where's the lever point at? Where are the weights loaded on the frame? Are they closer to you? Are they further back? Like, it's going to change how much the actual weight is drastically depending on all these different variables. And when you go to a tire flip, oh, well, this tire's that way. Well, how good of a grip are you able to get on the tire? How tall is it? How long is it? All these different things. There can be two 800-pound tires, and one I'll flip over like nothing, and the other one is a complete pain in the ass. So you can't gauge. You just really can't gauge one to the other. Every single implement is a unique test in itself. And I could go off on a million different tangents, but I think I've already done enough of them. But the key is that you can't really worry about how heavy that something feels, and you have to approach it like it's going to be light, and you're going to be able to do it because you've prepared as good as you can. And if you don't have access to the exact implement, then you're never going to know. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, or don't. Tell your friends. Even if you think I suck, tell them I did it. And if you think everything I said in this video is wrong, you can share that too. And share it on Facebook and say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Because that'll get me even more views, and I appreciate it. Thank you.